Everything's so weird. This really older phone has this color, I guess, that I didn't realize was on, and it looks cool pretty much, but I wonder what color the moon is today. It's purple. Cool. I was making these videos because I was trying to explain what I was going through. You know, wow, even that looks black in the background. That is weird. When it's not, it's white. My page I'm looking at is white, but though the page is black through the phone. Wow. And the keyboard's white when it's actually black, so wait, it's making everything opposite of what it really is. How interesting. Wonder how many more effects we could do to twist life around. I'm probably sounding mean right now, but I've been around people who have twisted it around so much that at one point I didn't know what to believe or not, which is good, but anyway. So my dad had sent all these text messages through and everything else, and he wasn't telling me where the info was coming from. I wanted to tell you that that's the type of person he has been my whole life, to where, like, when I first got my car, it would be like, my headlight went out, and I thought that's something that guys would do, or I thought it was something that a dad would help you take care of, and he just said, go buy the headlight and put it in yourself. That's how my dad was. And then he wouldn't help me know what the number was. He wouldn't help me. At that time I'm 16, a girl, you don't know what to do. And so it all ended up working out good, but boy, what a life. It even goes back earlier to that, when he wasn't never around till I was 3, and he wasn't even there when my mom had the baby, which was me. Maybe he thought I was from Cain all along, and the reason why I say that is because, see, I could tell you so much more, but in the conversation of his text messages, I was like, whoa, he was writing all the stuff through, and I said, I hope I'm not from Cain. He goes, well, yeah, I don't know, you're going to have to read what it says. And I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute. Why isn't he saying, Steph, no, you're not from Cain? Why didn't he tell me, no, you're not from Cain? Why'd he do that? So see, he has a way to put fear into you by leaving out information, not telling you where it's coming from. I even asked him, well, where have you coming up with all this information from? Like, in other words, all of a sudden. Oh, I don't know, what, just Bible verses. It's in the Bible, he'd say. It's in the Bible. And so I'd look up those verses he's putting through, and he'd keep going to Genesis 3:15, and keep forcing about the, Adam and Eve and all this stuff, and like, that's what I can't explain to you, because he wouldn't even explain it to me. So, and then when I start doing all these searches, it's coming up this negative, evil stuff, which, okay, is fine, but what was his point? What did he want to get across to me? What has he wanted to get across to me my whole life? What is it? What is it? What is his problem with me? I'm not trying to put my personal life in with what he's doing, but it was very, very hard not to see who he really was all the way from the beginning, which that is the part that freaks me out. He can't have a normal conversation. He won't meet with you. He won't go out to lunch. He won't do anything like that. He's one that'll just talk through text, maybe, if you're lucky, on a good day, when he doesn't say, here's what he always says, oh, I'm busy, I'm busy, I'm busy. That's my whole life with him. Oh, I lost the point, but anything I said to him, I said, well, I hope I'm not from Cain. And I said, great, now there's more people I got to look out for, because all the stuff that was coming through the text, it was like, geez, oh, Pete, what are you trying to do? What are you trying to prove? What are you trying to show me? And he wouldn't tell me. So that's when I found out, and everything that I would put in, I was coming up with typing, because he was putting his own words into it, like, paraphrasing things and looking it up. And I wasn't only looking up the paraphrase, I was looking up Like, I didn't even know it was called the gap theory or anything. It's in the first. Arnold Murray will explain it. Like, okay, when it says in the beginning was the word. What is the? Let me pause this. Here's a for instance of how Arnold Murray and other people who believe in the gap theory do it. And if you type in Arnold Murray gap theory, just like in my last video, you'll find it. You could hear the whole thing. It's up to you, you know. It's cool if you believe it, cool if you don't, whatever. You know, it don't matter to me. I'm just showing you how freaky it was to me, like, because I just can't explain it, but the way my dad was. But in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And Arnold Murray will say, period. And so there's their gap theory. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and then he'll say, period. And that's where their gap theory is, right after that, which don't even make sense. So my dad's telling me all this is in the Bible. No, it's not. It's not. The gap theory is not in the Bible. It doesn't say that. And then when that second verse goes, now the earth was formless and empty, darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. How my dad will explain it is, another thing, this is what I want to tell you, my dad says, in other words, okay, there was two floods. He said there was 2 floods. Okay, that is not in the Bible. It doesn't say there was 2 floods, okay? So that's another thing that I wanted to tell you, is because that's where I found out as I was searching for these 6 months. In the gap theory, I believe it's Arnold Murray's thing when he says that, is when I don't think he actually comes out and says there's 2 floods, but you have to search and search and search more and then finally get the damn answer. I mean, it's just crazy, okay? There was not 2 floods. I don't know. I want to play something for you and just show you how this guy is persuasive, I guess. All right, hold on.
They be aware of the foundation.
All right, hold on.
That a Christian or anyone else can... Praise God, we've been waiting on you. We're ready to get into a new subject tonight. Well, it's not a new subject, but it's a tape that we must upgrade. The old tape just about played out. So we're going to talk about the 3 world ages. There's no way that a Christian or anyone else can understand the Word of God except they be aware of the foundation.
All right, which is true. We do need a foundation. You cannot build a house without a good foundation, or else your house will fall down, right? You cannot actually build, in my thinking, a good family unless you're all on the same page and the foundation is set, and maybe through a marriage or what, but marriage to me isn't even good enough. You all have to be on the same page. So he's trying to work up and get you to believe, yep, we need a good foundation, which is true, but then he says that we can't, if we don't have the good foundation, we will not understand the 3 world ages, like say.
You can never build upon anything without a good and solid foundation. It has a great deal to do with the creation. Now, we have in our nation and the world, as far as that's concerned at this time, the great controversy over, well, was it evolution or was it creation? And the thought by most is that due to the influence of, no doubt, the Kenites upon our public school systems as well as other things, that we must teach evolution, which anyone in the science community knows is a lie. That is, if they're a true scientist. I mean, you've got a few woodpeckers out there still yet, but every species on record, I'm giving you a cold, hard fact, every species on record, whether you find them in a dig dating recent or ancient, they're the same. They have not advanced one iota. Small marine life, from the Ice Age is exactly like the small marine life of this day.
I'm going to
You
pause
can
it for a
still find
second.
them.
He goes on and on and on, and then he finally gets to his point, which is weird, but I can't get to the next part. Hold on. So he starts like talking about how scientists and everything. Let's see. I don't
It's
know.
all a big lie. And as I said, those in the scientific community that have any knowledge, you've got a lot of people in that community that do not have knowledge. They're void of knowledge.
Which, if you think about it, yes, we don't live how we live by just going by the science. And to me, who made science? God did. Okay, so he works up to his point and he puts all these things in and doesn't get to his point, but what he does is try to put all that in to get you to believe all the stuff that he's saying right now, and then throws in the three world ages, and then, well, if everything he said he was true just with his normal everyday talking just now, then why wouldn't you believe in the three world ages? I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm just doing these videos. You know, I don't mind if people believe it or not. I just, when I kept studying and going down, it came to a bad place. That's all I know. It came to a bad place. I wish I could play more and do more and everything else. I'm going to have to make another video probably. I'll have to do another one. Or you could search it, you know. I don't know. It's just weird. He separates the three world ages into three different parts, and I think the first one was before the flood. The second one was something, and then another one, I don't even know if that one came yet, which was so weird because he might get you so screwed up that you don't even know what world age you are in right now. That's all I know, because he doesn't really explain it to me correctly, but yet he's acting, I don't know. To me, it's like he's acting like he came up with all this. I don't know. They don't teach it in the church, and that's what he'll sit and say. They don't teach it in the church. Well, you know, he acts like he's the one who discovered this, and I don't know. I just don't know. So I never came up with all the complete answers about him or nothing, but to tell you the truth, I don't think I believe, at least I know I don't believe everything he says. I should start watching them again, but the thing is, it brings up a lot of memories of a lot of things with my family, and I swear it's, I don't know. After my dad got a divorce, 1996, he didn't talk to me in 10 years. It's like 2006, a whole 10 years. He never listened to the Bible or read the Bible at home. Every time that me and my mom would go to her friend's house, he'd have a problem with it. He was always against it. He always said something so weird that didn't even make sense that was from what's in the Bible. He would just do the opposite. So just so you know that. And now when he found this, it was like he was gung-ho about it, but he never ever told me he was listening to this. And the only way I found out who was teaching this was doing searches from all the stuff that was coming through my text. And when I did, I was like, oh, wow, why are you focusing on this? Why can't you focus on Jesus? It made me think that he didn't even believe Jesus' words. It made me think that he had a different view. And here's the thing, he won't tell me. I ask him what you believe. What do you believe, Dad? He won't tell me. Well, what do you think about this? He won't tell me. He just puts stuff through, gets your mind going, and to me, that's exactly what they do. Like in a I don't know, in a cult. I don't know. They bring things up and I don't know. It's weird. I can't explain it because I went through a different thing, and my childhood was weird. Let's put it that way. I have a lot of blocks where I don't know what happened. And I mean, I'm not talking just up to the age of 3. You know, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking when I was 12, which was so weird when I got baptized. I started having all kinds of dreams and all kinds of weird stuff and all kinds of things happening. They even put me on amitriptyline. Amitriptyline. It's here. It's amitriptyline or whatever. I was waking up. I wasn't even myself. I wasn't even myself in my own body. It was so weird. But if you knew how I was brought up in our house, weird things happened in it. I thought I saw Jesus in my window, but the weirdest thing is why would Jesus be red? Why would he be red? We had a pool table for a little while, and the pool balls would move when they shouldn't have. Okay? That was in the basement. My mom saw the devil in the hallway. My mom saw the rocking chair move. She had lots of things happening to her. She went through health issues and things, and it was just something weird. I was having dreams of a half man, half bat coming up the basement, shaking the door, calling my name. I swear that our cat was evil. He was cursed. I swear. I just do. Many, many dreams of an upstairs in our house, which we never had one, of really nice wood, going up 3 levels, weird things. And nobody ever talked about any of it. They didn't put this into my mind or nothing. It was just so many strange things. I could probably think about more. One time it sounded like somebody tried to jump up to my window. I heard it against our brick house. I look outside the next day. There was footprints in the snow. That's crazy. My window was at a further part of the house where nobody even walks. The neighbors wouldn't even walk there. That's not a place you would walk. So, strange things, but I don't know. Strange things have happened my whole life. Things will happen, but the thing is that there'll be something wrong with my car that's really odd that never ever happened to somebody before. Like I can't even. I don't know. Everything that happens to me is this stuff that's out of the ordinary, not normal, things like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. So, surprised this phone's holding. So I don't really know where I'm getting to in making these videos. I'm just telling you about things, and all I know is it leads. Here was the thing. Well, the world became evil and everything else, and God ended it by a flood. All right. But then my dad starts telling me that the Kenites, see, what R.L. Murray teaches, they snuck through the flood. Well, wasn't it that Noah, wasn't it that there was so much rain and Noah had built that boat and it was up so high and everything on the earth had perished? But my dad's telling me that they snuck either on the boat or through the boat, and they made it through the flood. The Kenites did, the evil people. I mean, come on. Do you see the point? I'm saying it aggravated because all of his things and his brain was getting so weird and out of control. I think this is going to shut off. I'm not sure. He had me on a freaking goose hunt or something because he wasn't telling me nothing. And then the more he would speak and the more questions I would ask if I could get anything out of him was weird. So the Kenites snuck on the boat, and then they just had more babies, I guess, and they're more evil people. No, it's a spiritual thing. We are all frickin' deal with evil. We all have evil in us where we could be saved through Jesus Christ and we become new, born again. He didn't mention none of this. So what was his point? He probably won't ever tell me, and it's 7 years later I'm still sitting and wondering. But the type of person he is, he goes from one thing to the next, and then he's off of that. Then something new will come. He puts it out there and everything else. I think what he does is try to keep you busy with something in the meantime, and that way to get you off of him where you won't talk to him. And then he'll just come up with something new and then keep you where you won't talk to him again or write to him. I don't know. He's not one that you could see clearly his heart. Tell you that. Everything's hidden and covert and weird. Now he's got my brother all wrapped up in this. And my brother doesn't even want to be here on this earth. He told me many of times that he just wants to be dead. I'll just put it that way. Yeah, it's from hanging around with my dad too much. It's still living at home when you're like 44 years old, where you've never been out on your own, except when he lived with me at the trailer when he got kicked out and thrown around, beaten up. I don't know. Sorry to my parents or whatever to having to do this, but my mom had many notes and notebooks and everything else, and when she did die, that's what I did want. Isn't that weird? I didn't want her jewelry, which she didn't have really much, but what I'm saying is, I didn't want anything else of hers except her notebooks and notes. And her boyfriend has them. Sometimes the only way, which I didn't do, but the only way you can get something is if you do, kind of take it without telling nobody. But what does he need all that for, But I don't know, that's a whole nother story. And then I went in and took my mom's stuff at the pawn shop, and he got all pissed off, and it wrecked everything. And then he had my brother all twisted, saying that I owe my brother money too, and just stuff. People are crazy. But see, it just goes into a whole bunch of shit. See, it goes off key. Thank you for watching. I'm getting a little bit frustrated talking about this, but I do need to talk about it. I do need to be able to go through it and face it without getting all nervous. But so far, we're doing okay, even though I'm aggravated. But oh God, just don't even believe this guy, please. And don't believe those people out there that are